So the walkthrough itself should be pretty quick. I'm going to walk you guys through how to create playoff brackets. And then I was assuming most of the session, whatever's left, will just be a Q&A. If you guys have any questions, we're happy to answer them. And then just up front, we have a few changes coming to this. This is kind of a beta version of our bracket tool. Right now, it's only supporting football and basketball, but we'll have the rest of the fall sports ready to go by playoff time, along with a few other updates. So to access the tournament manager, we'll give everyone here access to it. It's not going to be something that's available to everyone, but we'll be able to give you guys permission to use this tool kind of as a one-off. So once we give you access, all you'll do is click on your account icon up here in the top right, and then click Tournament Manager. And then once you're here, this is going to be a list of all of the tournaments that you've created. So I'm assuming for each section, you'll see, a tournament for each sport and gender. And from here, you'll be able to edit the tournament or view the tournament page. First, we'll go through how to just set up the tournament. So we'll click Create New Tournament. You'll be able to name it. So we'll call this CIF Football Playoffs Test. You'll select your sport, the level, which will always be varsity. We can probably actually get rid of the other levels there. You'll select the number of teams in the event, and then you're going to select the start and end dates for each round. So this will give us a range for each round of the tournament. So we'll say this goes Friday, Saturday. We'll say the next round goes Monday to Tuesday, and then we'll say the championship game is going to be on that Friday. You'll select the rules. This is primarily for if you're planning to live score these games with the digital scorebook app. Obviously, for volleyball and water polo and the other fall sports, this will be less of an issue. We'll talk about the live scoring part of this later, but for the most part, the option you're going to want to select here is high school rules. And this will essentially just default all of the rules to probably what you're using already. And then the game type is going to be playoffs. You have the ability to put in a logo for your tournament and a cover photo for the playoff page. If you want here, we have the ability to hide the seed numbers on the bracket. So if your bracket is, if you don't want to publicize the ranking or the seeding of the teams, this is how you do that. I don't know if you do that for playoffs or not, but you have the option if you want to. Once this is set up, you'll click Next. And you're just going to add the teams in the event in order that they're seeded. So I'll say Team 1 is Mater Dei. Say Team 2, St. John Bosco. Say Team 3 is De La Salle. Just say this is State. Team 4 is Folsom. I'm sorry if I miss any of your sections. I'm just kind of going off the top of my head here. So Team 2 is Torrey Pines. 6 is Helix. Team 7. Let me know if I'm going too fast too. I hope the screen recording isn't choppy or anything. We'll say Team 2, J. Sarah. And then we'll say this is just Orange Lutheran. So once your teams are added to the tournament, you can reorder them. If you put them in out of order on accident, you can remove a team by clicking the X and put a new team in to replace them. And once this is done, you'll just click Next. And then a bracket will automatically be generated based on the number of teams and the seeding that you have entered. So we have some logic in here that will know based on the amount of teams you have, how many buys there should be, which teams should be playing who, and this will all be ordered correctly. And then once you're here, you'll be able to click on any of these games and edit the game information for that specific game. So you can say whether it's a neutral site, you can update the date of that game. The date is obviously just going to default to the first of that range that you selected for the round. But you can change that as well to any date inside of that range. And then you'll be able to update the time and add a location. Sometimes I know home and away is a little wonky with seeding. Not the top seeded team might not always be the home team, so you can swap that if you need to. And then just click update when you're done, and it will save all of your changes, and then all that information will be stored inside of the game. And that's pretty much it. It's simplistic on purpose. We will be adding a little bit of functionality to it here. Hopefully before playoff time, we'll definitely be covering all of the sports. But we just really wanted to first give you guys a tool that's easy to use, and you can kind of get this part of your job done as quickly as possible. Once you save the tournaments, we will automatically create a tournament page for your event. Sorry, this is on our staging server, so there's sometimes little minor issues. But so you'll get a success notification once the tournament is saved, and then now this tournament will be added to your tournament list. So from here, I can go visit the tournament page where I can see the bracket, and then I can look at all the teams in the tournament. And all of these games, so if you're following the bracket live on Scorebook Live, all of these games will show a score in real time as the game is being scored as well. And then once the game has ended, if you've been live scoring it, or even if you've just submitted a score, the teams will advance themselves to the next rounds. And then from here, you'll have the ability to share the tournament. You can actually download an image of the bracket. So I can just quickly pull in a JPEG here. You can share this to social media, send it out, whatever you want to do with it. We'll be adding more formats in the future, but for now, you can download it as a CSV or a JPEG, and then share through Twitter, Facebook, messages, or email. So
Jeff,
that's kind of it. Sorry, go ahead.
Jeff, I assume, most of our sections, and then even at the state level, we've got multiple divisions.
Yeah.
So my assumption is they would just name it CIF, Central Section Division 1 Football.
Yeah, exactly.
But they would name it and then create it, and then same thing for Division 2, 3, 4, 5, that kind of thing.
Yeah, so to handle the divisions, you'll just create a new bracket for each division here. So you'd have
perfect. That's what I figured.
Okay. You'd have 1,000 divisions or however many they have, and then so a separate bracket for each division, and then you can name it whatever you want as well.
Great.
I'm happy to answer any questions. Sorry, this was maybe overly simplistic, but it really is a pretty easy to use tool. And like I said, we'll be adding functionality to handle the other fall sports. And we're happy to take any feedback you guys have for any other changes that you guys might think would be helpful here.
Jeff, this is Dick. Can you hear me?
Yep. Hey, Dick.
Hey, is there a way to embed a widget code onto our website so when the public goes right to a certain page and the playoff bracket page and it's all there?
Sean might be able to answer that question better than me. I don't know if our bracket widget is ready to go yet. It's something we've talked about. Sean, do you have any more information on that?
Yeah, it's definitely planned, and that's our goal, to make all this stuff available in as many forms as possible. And widget is definitely one of them. We just don't have it ready right now.
Yeah, that's fine. I think our first big playoff for all of us is girls volleyball at the end of October. Is that correct for most sections?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm trying to get a timeline.
Because
we do our seeding October 24th for girls volleyball. Okay.
Yeah, we'll prioritize in the order which those sports will be coming up too. So yeah, that's helpful. So just let us know when you need these by, and we'll get it done.
Okay.
The one caveat here, this is only supporting single elimination formats right now, if you noticed. So I think that should cover all of the fall sports. Is that correct?
Single elimination, but if you have a team that's a consolation, like they lose actually I take it back. For girls volleyball, for us, we have double elimination, so that the winners move on into the championship bracket. The losers go consolation.
Okay.
They can figure out their state berth.
Okay.
So there is double elimination for us for girls volleyball and basketball.
Okay. All right. We'll talk about that and try to figure out a plan.
Okay.
This is Rebecca in the state office. I have a couple questions.
Yeah.
Regarding the widget, so I know you say you're working on it. Is it going to be ready to go for fall season? I guess is the question.
Yeah, our standard answer is we'll do our best. If it's something
that's highly important.
Okay.
But, yeah, I think.
And then I question, when you press save, and is it automatically go live? So anyone that's looking at that bracket, is there a way to put all your stuff in and save it but not make it go live yet, so that, maybe there's a change? Like, I've input our brackets as we're going on, but I review them all at the very end before I say, hey, let's go live with them. So is there an option to do that?
Not as of right now, but these are not easily found, I guess, by the public until you publicize them in the current state. So for now, I'd just say don't publicize it until it's absolutely ready. But if it becomes an issue, we can definitely work out a way to figure out how to hide these until you're ready to publish them.
Okay, so if you started putting the stuff in and didn't press save and you left that browser, all your work would have been erased then.
Yes.
If you don't press save. Okay.
Yeah.
And then my other question is, I know that people are live scoring or whatever, but say sometimes someone puts in a wrong score. Are we able then, as the tournament administrator, to override scores?
Yes, yeah, you'll be able to override scores for all these games if something has been entered erroneously. I think one of the asks back when we demoed this for you guys in February was the ability to manually move and advance teams from one round to the next. That's something that we're talking about doing too. So, no, I'm not sure if that'll be ready for fall, but it's something that you'll be able to do down the road.
Hey, Jeff,
okay, thanks. Those are the questions I had.
Go ahead, Chris.
It wasn't me.
Oh, sorry.
It's Dick. Yeah, I just want to piggyback off of what Rebecca said.
Okay.
One of the great things that we had in the past with the brackets was we were able to create the brackets weeks in advance, not knowing who's seated, but everything is, the template's ready to go, all the seats, everything's built, all the dates, and then on the day of the seating meeting, all we had to do was enter the school and the seed, and then when it was done, we would hit publish live.
Okay.
That would be ideal, because if you're asking us not to do anything until the day of the seating meeting, that is going to be a ton of work.
Yeah.
To enter everything with our. I mean, that's going to be tough.
Okay. Yeah, and again, this is in beta, so we're still making changes, and this is the kind of feedback that's going to help us make this a really useful tool for you guys. So we're honestly open to any suggestions at this point. We want to make this perfect for you. So yeah, and I'm sorry all the stuff isn't in right now in its current form, but we'll definitely get there. And we're gonna have to use it a little bit to figure out exactly what will work the best. But this feedback is really helpful.